It's the final battle.
Portraying. We not artist is not the image we portraying.
See, they doing demonic
I
music.
want you to be honest though. Like, what are we portraying when we rap?
We are portraying entertainment.
No,
That's what we supposed to be portraying.
Oh, you speaking from a grown man. You get what I know. I want you to speak from when you first started rapping. Don't speak from now as you know what you know. Speak from these young kids' perspective. When you rapping, what's the image you want to come from rapping? How you want people to look at you?
I wanted a real image to come out, and I wanted you to know how my life story as being a real G or a real nigga.
Exactly. Now, what did you say? A real G, right?
Yeah.
So that's the image we all try to hold up when we rapping. That because we trying to show how much of a gangster we are, right?
Technically, no. We are trying to entertain an audience. We trying to captivate an audience. We trying to show our skill set. We trying to show that but the persona was different back in the days. Back in the days, it was gimmicks. You had Wu-Tang. You had Fushnikins. You had all these kind of groups based off gimmicks.
Everybody was trying to be a gangster.
No, they wasn't.
The only people that wasn't trying to be gangsters was people like Tribe Called Quest.
That didn't start until after we came out. When Uptown Assassins came out, we came out as regular dudes. I'll play you our record. You can't even show me a regular, nobody talking like they gangsters besides Coogee Rap on the East Coast. Nobody in past 1995. Everybody was talking about gimmicks. Gimmicks mean they was attached to.
That's when it was a skill thing, That's when it was about skills and messages and shit.
Yeah.
The 90s changed that.
Now,
and that's the 90s changed that.
The 90s changed that.
About gangster in the 90s and after that. This is why I said when we started rapping, because we're around the same age, what are we trying to push out with us, and not just me and you, with our peers? You get what I'm saying? What do most people try to project in their raps? And like you said, how much of a real person, street nigga, gang, whatever, how much of a real person I am. This is what we
so now what we were portraying was the gangster lifestyle of the people that was on the streets. You know what I mean? Those was projections of your experience on the street, my experience on the street, and experience on the street put into lyrics so the people that's not dead can understand, and the people that can relate to those kind of situations can relate to those kind of situations, and that's how the game evolved.
What at the beginning, since you want to keep going back to the beginning, what were some of the elements that made the best rappers?
The elements that made the best rappers was back in the days was their wordplay and their skills and their metaphors and what kind of bars they kicking. You understand what I'm saying? So you had dudes that was.
So we get right. So within these metaphors and these lines and stuff, what was most of the approaches?
Most of the approaches was based off positivity.
And
some of them was based off negativity, and that was two different lanes. It was always equal. You had the positive rappers, and you had the rappers that was rapping the streets.
But you're still missing something. The main factor in it was the braggadocious part of it.
And what's that?
I just said it, the braggadocious part of it. Everybody had braggadocious raps. Everything was about bigging yourself up in the raps at the beginning.
Not really.
No, nigga, that was the most. Go back to most of these old. Go back to the first rap. Go back to Rapper's Delight. Everything is about boasting, showing off, being big time. This was hip hop at the beginning. This is what it was about. Being big time. I'm fancy. I'm a showstopper.
So what that got to do with these kids today singing demonic tunes, jumping around, killing each other, doing rituals, going, knocking over candles, pissing on graves, cursing each other mothers,
You too smart for this,
yelling out dead men names to be repeated millions and millions of times. That's called curse.
I don't agree with them cursing out the dead and all of that shit, but it's called evolution. At the beginning, it was just, I just said it was big. I'm a showstopper. I'm doing this. I'm this. I got more money than you. You poor. You did. This is what it was, right?
Yeah.
At the beginning. So, and again, as we transform, when we get to the 90s, that's still there. This is why that's why I fucked your bitch came. That's why that's so special, because it's braggadocious. It's nigga, I'm a gangster. It was all of that in one, right? So we're gonna continue now. So we come more again to 20 more years.
So you think that was my interpretation of KRS-One?
Huh?
You think that was my interpretation of KRS-One? You must learn. You must learn.
Right, but he also said the pussy is free.
And the crack costs money. Oh yeah.
Right. So like you saying, there's both elements. I study hip hop like I study people.
Now, when you talking about that record that you just mentioned, that was before he dropped his solo album and he was rapping on the Just Ice song. And
we all have a balance. We all have the I'm a gangster type of music, and if you're gonna do that teaching and learning, you do that too. But most of it, the shit that everybody gravitates to is I'm the toughest, I'm the superstar, I got the best, I got the rollie.
Now, I'm gonna bust it down to you, man, what really happened, bro. This is what really happened. The heavy metal, satanic.
We're trying to understand something. We're not trying to break nothing down.
Okay, I understand what happened, so I'm gonna say what happened. The heavy metal, industry, hip hop destroyed it. So because hip hop became the popular music for the white people in America cultures all over the United States. So the owners of these heavy metal labels and bands, they started signing hip hop artists and converting their companies and hip hop artists. Yeah, because they became the video directors and they directed the videos and do all this satanic stuff all in the videos and they started turning the rappers into rockers. So that's why if you go back 6-7 years, you're gonna hear the rappers talking about I'm a rock star, and they start acting like heavy metal and all this, and they start doing the occult in their music and in their videos and putting black fingernails and bugs, and they was getting all that direction from their heavy metal peers, and they was giving them better advertisement for promoting the satanic agenda. And then that brainwashed a smaller generation to be satanic as well, dye their hair, start being doing all of this strange shit.
Okay. So all of that happens. So you mean to tell me a K Flock and a Beloved, they understand the satanic parts when they start rapping? They understand all of what you're talking about when they just started rapping and started getting views and shit like that, and now they signed? They understood all that shit,
No, they didn't understand it.
Or are they just trying to live up to what was before them?
They were trying to live up what was before them and what was trended when they came out, because they don't know the history. So they just coming in and jumping in where they fit in. But this was a direction that was pushed on by the elders from my class onto this generation purposelessly. They purposely did this to the youth, destroyed their opportunity. And now it's being exploited by the whole system to destroy our culture, because they understand what they're doing by because if you go back 5 years on YouTube, you couldn't do half of the things you can do now today. They know the things that they let the kids do today on YouTube encourage violence. They know that.
There wasn't stuff on TV 10 years ago that's on TV now.
Listen, if you put guns in your video, or you was even smoking weed or having alcohol or drugs in your video, 5 to 6 years ago, YouTube will take your video down and say this is inappropriate, and a young audience looked at your video. Now, when
You're
you put
right,
all
because
that
it
in
was
your
new.
video,
Right,
they
because
let because the owner of YouTube now, the person that manage YouTube and run YouTube now, is a former um owner of heavy metal music and being involved with all of these occult. I don't want to really call their names and all that shit. I
They
think it's
all
Leon
connected.
Cohen, and
We
they
we
and
already
they
know
and
they
they
all connected.
and they and
We know
they
this.
and their objective is to destroy our culture and steal our culture. So
Oh,
all of the
we
music.
we we all we knew this in the '60s. So to say that, like,
Yeah, we watched them
everybody
do
said,
this
oh,
with
we
rock and
know this is
roll.
like, oh,
We watched
you
them do
said
this,
all of
create
that
rock and roll
fucking
from
about 2
jazz.
years ago.
We know this, all of this already, but
Right. So why are you repeating it to me?
because I'm just basically saying why you got all of these kids and they making this music that's dedicating death and destruction upon each other, and then what they gonna do? They're gonna go out and do this death and destruction upon each other when they see each other. When you go back to the first battles, when we was battling, when it was beef, you got rappers on stage trying to.
Let me cut you off. Let me cut you off. You know they were saying this in the '90s about gangster rap. You know they were saying everything you're saying.
Gangster rap didn't exist. Gangster rap was on the West Coast. Gangster rap was Easy E and NWA. We
Right,
didn't have
right,
gangster
right,
rap over
right,
here.
right. But do
We
you
ain't.
remember C. Dolores Tucker? All of what you just said is what they were saying then. It was just that was the older generation from us. We didn't want to hear that shit that they were saying. Just like them kids right now, they're not going to hear what you're saying like that because you're blaming it on them, and it's not their fault, nigga. It's not their fault. Like just like with Eazy-E and them was coming out, they didn't know what them fucking politicians was talking about. They were just trying to make some music.
Yeah, I heard what you
understand
said.
what I'm saying? Now the people in the record label, they might understand what these people and politicians talking about, but no, they gotta make their money.
Yeah, remember they had the
Everything
big
is
thing
about
over
money.
Dolores Tucker when she was a congresswoman and she was going against the music, the
against
gangster rap
gangsta
music,
rap.
and
Yeah,
Tupac
yeah,
went
yeah,
against her.
yeah. Yeah. You ain't gotta. I mentioned her. You ain't gotta break it down, nigga. I know. I just asked you, do you remember her?
Of course.
Okay, so you remember all of the rhetoric you just said was the same rhetoric when we was teenagers. This is what made us really love hip hop because they tried to come at they fucking made hip hop a target. So all of us kids that was loving this hip hop shit was like, oh fuck that, nah, we this what made hip hop big too. Because and the same thing is what's going on now. The more we kick drill in this back, the more this shit gonna grow. Because it's the youth who runs everything. The youth make the trends. The youth say what's hot. Everybody else follow.
That's a fact.
This is how hip hop was created. Again, how old was them niggas when hip hop started? How old was them niggas?
They wasn't even born. So now let me just tell you the keys.
I'm talking about the niggas where it started with. How old was them niggas? Who hurt?
Oh, they was already grown men.
No, they wasn't.
What you mean? They wasn't like 18,
They
19?
wasn't no grown, man. Just to go check your records, man.
How old were they?
Them niggas was in their teens, nigga. Cool Herc might have been the only one that was grown, man.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. They was like 18, 19, 20.
17, 16, 15. Them niggas, it was a bunch of young people. Grandmaster Caz and them niggas was teenagers, man.
Yeah, that's my man, uncles and them, bro. I know what's up. I've been around them niggas forever.
All them niggas was teenagers, This is what I'm saying. This is where all the energy comes from. Like, all the studying you do, too, you know this shit.
Yeah, I know this.
This is where the energy comes from. The youth. Again, the Black Panthers, how old was they?
Yeah, they was in their teens, and there was a few elders, but it was mostly teens.
It's an age range, and it's the same age range the police target, nigga.
Okay, now, what about now where they got them targeted, and now they uneducated and dumb? And then now they running around here doing gibberish. They are youth, so we can't run behind a bunch of idiots, and these kids is running around here, and they don't know what the hell they talking about. They don't know what they doing, and we can't co-sign it because they youth, and they wanna go satanic. Them niggas better. Nah, them niggas. It's no co-signing. We see how we co-sign those movements with the youth, but this movement with the youth, we can't go along with. We gotta tell them niggas. Y'all niggas is bugging. You can do it, but don't be disrespecting no dead people, and don't be disrespecting nobody that passed away. Don't be kicking no candles, going to no grave sites. Don't be. You got somebody you got a problem with. You wanna vent on them. You wanna see him, you see him.
You can't be a hypocrite. When you scream niggas was running in them clubs around the clubs in New York City, you niggas ain't have respect for people, especially him.
Nah, see, that's different.
This is what I'm
That's different. See, we was running around. We getting in the niggas. Niggas is getting in there with us, and that's like strangers meeting up. It's not like no organized beef where they was dissing us and we dissing them and we meeting up to.
What I'm saying is, when y'all was running what y'all was running in y'all respected areas, the older niggas from them neighborhoods couldn't tell y'all shit. Could they? Bro, look at this nigga fake, bro.
Nah, because they wasn't in that position.
It ain't no reason or I don't need no explanation. I already know.
Yo, we was a different breed. We was already of knowledge.
See, and this is
listen to me, man. Yo, let me. These little kids is not like us. When we was 16 and 15, we was already driving. We had our own apartments.
It's not about being like nobody. It's not about who's tougher. It's about that's the energy.
Yo, bro. These kids is still living with their mommies. When we was 17, 16, we already had apartments. We already had cars.
Apartment that was fucking with you. Everybody did not have their own.
Everybody had an apartment.
I don't believe that.
Yo, I guarantee you, it's not one dude that I know that was over 17, 16 living with mommy. Everybody was grown men.
Very hard to believe, man.
I'm telling you, Nick, that's it. Yo, bro.
All right, so let me ask you. All these dudes still live by themselves?
90% of them.
Get the fuck out of here.
Not one man live with mommy.
You forgetting. Some of them in jail, you forgetting.
Not many, only probably about 5%. But I'm telling you, dudes was not living with mommy. We had houses, cribs. I'm talking about on their own, nothing to do with hustling, nothing. I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying that to say we was getting money when we was kids, because we was, but that's not the point. Our generation was faster than them. These kids now is like 12 and they like damn near retarded.
Y'all was 17, you said.
Yeah.
How do all of y'all have apartments? How do y'all have money without drugs?
Yo, bro.
Come on.
Bro, I'm telling you, I had my own apartment. Rent was cheap back in the days. Like, dudes was doing.
It's about rent being cheap. It's about the know-how. It's about the know-how.
And like I'm saying, these little kids is based off of their mommy and daddy, and if they not doing that, they trying to do a scam. They don't even got hustling. They don't got nothing. We had hustling at least. You just expose yourself. They don't even got hustling. They don't got nothing. They can try to do a scam. They can then shoot a video, and then now they walking around asking me for $5 when I'm seeing them on the streets. When I'm watching their videos, on YouTube. Niggas is getting 200, 300,000 views. You see them on the streets. They buy me a bag of weed, buy me a soda.
That's the little bum kids. It's some kids over there that you know that's probably making a whole lot of money too. But the ones you know are probably the ones that's not making the money. You can't put everybody in the same basket, though.
Oh, I'm not, because I know other kids that's doing better, but they doing better.
I'm pretty sure you do. But how they think is our fault. Whoever
Cyber rap, I roll with assassins, not no shooters. Players of rap, we love life, we love moolah. That's why we trap. Digital stream, digital wave, digital all. Cyber rap, I see the future. Virgin
OGs didn't
computers,
want the
cyber rap,
responsibility
I roll
to
with
be over
assassins,
these kids
not no shooters.
because they
Players of
started
rap,
doing
we love
like in
life, we
2005
love moolah.
and 6.
That's
They
why we
started doing
trap. Digital stream,
unnecessary
digital wave,
indictments.
digital
So
all.
now if you the
Cyber
big
rap,
homie,
so
just say you
insane.
and the big
The
homie,
bullets
you
are
know
rain,
you know
multiple
successful,
shooters.
and young
Don't
niggas
blame the
coming up,
streets,
you staying away
blame
from
the
them because they
streets.
doing
Getting
this
shooters,
bullshit, and
straight
then
up the
now
blacks,
when
they
the law
cause
come, the law
children.
gonna go say,
Weaken
hey,
stacks, they
this is the
wanna
kingpin,
use
and
us.
they just put all that shit
With
together
the
and they just
moolah,
bottle your
we
ass up
see
in an
them.
indictment when you
We
wasn't
say
even
all
involved.
shooters, now we ops, fuck them losers. Feel me?
Larry Hoover and all these dudes.
Cloud division,
They've been doing all of the shit you saying. We know
you
all
a
of them know
pussy.
this stuff.
Yeah, they've been doing that. You right, but see.
This is what I'm like. So
But now you dealing with motherfuckers with projection and they can't catch me in that trap. They can't catch you in that trap. We just gonna go all the way to the right way and then leave. Y'all motherfuckers got nothing to do with whatever. Y'all gotta be whatever. And so now that little trap is out the window now. But I'm just explaining to you. So now that creates the space where you can't tell these kids what's right from what's wrong, or you can't spend time with them in the community when they in the negative atmosphere. You can't go to them and be like, yo, y'all bugging, y'all this, y'all that, boom, boom, boom. Let me tell y'all doing this. Because if one of them step off the cliff and you affiliated with them, now you affiliated with them, and then now they tie in whatever you into with them, and you're like, oh no, that's what they did. They did that. I know innocent people in jail to this day for that same reason. Word up. Right now, I got my man in jail right now for that same thing I'm explaining. That's how I know how deadly it is. So now I gotta watch these kids out here destroy themselves. I can't go to them and be a big G to them. Like, yo, y'all bugging.
That's where it get a little confusing because I'm not gonna say ain't nobody in jail that's innocent. It's a whole bunch of niggas in jail that's innocent.
Uh-huh.
But when they tag these big homies in with these little niggas, that's because they be in the same game. They be on paper in the same game.
Yeah, that do be a fact, but I know cases where that wasn't a fact.
That be the relationship.
I know cases that it wasn't a fact and they just did that shit anyway just to get motherfuckers off the street.
No, because either you have some type of influence and they feel you might not have